Hello, good evening and a very warm welcome to the Hot Seat. In the Hot Seat, we always have a variety of guests, and our guest tonight is no stranger to our country and indeed to wherever the Sri Lankan diaspora are. Let's just introduce you to Desmond De Silva. Good evening, Desmond, and welcome to the Hot Seat.
Good evening for us. Thank you for the invitation. I'm happy to be here.
And the network is always glad to have you on.
Yes, we did have one before. I can remember, was it last year? Or,
that's right. Yeah. That's right. We thought we'll ask you. You are in your sort of post popular period as time has gone by. You are now more involved in charitable work.
Yes, I try to involve myself in charitable work as much as possible. Besides my tough work schedule, we have done several things like Kushil's charity, which is here in Sri Lanka. Mm-hmm. We have donated, and I'm hoping to do a few more as and when invited by but this might start a floodgate. But time is always been a problem when I come to Sri Lanka. So based on time availability, I will do my best.
And so brand Desmond De Silva is alive, well, and flourishing.
Well, I think so. I'm working, thank heavens. The work is coming, which is the most important thing for a musician when there's a demand. Like I live in Australia, as you know, and I have quite a bit of, I'm very busy schedule in Sydney and Melbourne, more so in Melbourne. And then I still travel overseas. Like this particular trip, we had a concert on the 25th. And sing along the next weekend, which was last Saturday. That was for the police. They have an International Police Federation here, which they raise funds for several things. So there again, we touched on that, the being able to help whilst being part of the program. And the concert, I must say, was again a very touching concert, because to me, I used the song in the very end. There's an English song with the lyrics says, "I still call Sri Lanka home."
Right.
So that went down a real treat, because the audience really loved it, because they never expected that.
Right. And
personally, I still call Sri Lanka home.
Yes, I was going to ask you. So, do you consider Sri Lanka home?
In my heart, yes. My physical presence is somewhere else, unfortunately, or fortunately, I don't know. I would think I have a nice balance. We love to come home anytime. If we give given half the chance, we're on a plane and we are home.
Right.
So that way, I believe my heart is here.
You must be as recognizable in Australia as you are here.
Yes, to the Sri Lankan population, definitely, definitely, because we are still we have, shall I say, coverage and exposure in the mainly, like I said, Melbourne, Brisbane. But I work all the cities like Perth, Melbourne, mainly Melbourne, and Sydney, of course, where I live. And I have a band in Sydney, all Sri Lankans, and all professionals, so we still do it as a hobby and a part-time, but we still enjoy being together and producing music.
Tell us about this sort of charitable work that you're engaged in on this particular visit to Sri Lanka.
Yes, it's actually wanting to raise funds to complete a house which was started probably the beginning of this year. I had to go back a little bit. I was invited to do a charitable function in Dubai by Mr. George Hettiarachchi, who they have a like a club, you know, friends together, having events to raise funds, even to help the Sri Lankans of a lower echelon, and who are maybe struggling a bit in Dubai itself.
I see.
But he also found an avenue which is, his name is Prasanna. He is blind and he plays a beautiful flute. I mean, he is remarkably talented.
Yeah.
And he also has a band which is also people who do not have sight. So I am very curious to play with them.
Yeah.
Because they are going to be the backing band, and and the concert we are having is on the 9th in Dharmaraja College in Kandy.
Right.
And these funds is to help to make him finish the house.
Oh, I see.
So there is like the last bit to be done, like maybe obviously the roof and stuff like that. So and there are several other artists who have joined us to, there is Anasli Malvana is on the cards to perform. So is Yasmin De Silva, and there's one other lady. The name eludes me, and I'm asking her for forgiveness because I cannot remember the name. But she's very, very popular, and I, since I'm not here all the time, I fail to remember it.
This band, that consists of blind people.
Yes. Now, I mean, when you consider the fact that all of them are without sight, it struck me very, very. It was almost a physical blow when I heard the name of the band. They are known as Vision.
Vision.
I mean, you and I would immediately think, my goodness, what a beautiful concept.
Indeed.
Yeah, like people who cannot see it, and there's vision, and they have a certain type of vision.
Certain vision. Indeed. On that note, we'll take a short break from the Hot Seat. Do stay tuned. We'll be right back. Good evening and welcome back to the Hot Seat, where our guest tonight is Mr. Desmond De Silva, who needs no introduction as an enduring entertainer from our wonderful country. So, Desmond, you're more and more involved in helping others, which is a nice way of putting something back.
Yes, that is exactly what it is.
Yeah. What else? You've been involved with the Foundation for Goodness, the Kushal Kumsekara led.
Yes, we were happy to donate what we originally discussed as feasible for us, and Kushal was very, very thankful. He did send us a very warm thank you note, and I wish him the best in his endeavor. I mean, it's people like that who are inspirational.
Desmond, if you look back on your career, which is you've had many highs and for long periods of time. If you were to redo it all, if you were to play the rewind, and then if you can start again, what would be different? What would you do differently?
We'll get the figures right first, if I may.
Okay.
Like, I've done 52 years to date.
Okay.
But I started when I was 2.
Okay. I see.
No, well.
Yeah. Okay.
So, what I cannot think of anything that I would like to change. Except that I think we were also lucky. We had a bit of fortune, because if you are looking at the present day musicians, they have quite a lot of facilities, which we did not have when we were starting off on our journey. So I actually, to answer your question very, very honestly, I would think that we have been blessed. We have been blessed. So I'll go with the flow, and like I say, well, the get up and go has not gone yet, and I'm still still there, and I enjoy performing.
Some people would have thought that in Sri Lanka you may have used your your popularity.
Sell by date.
Yes, because it has no sell-by date.
Yeah, I know.
So we would have thought that you may have entered the field of politics.
Oh, no.
No?
No.
That's a resounding no, Desmond.
Definitely. I would have used the B word, but I can't use it on a no way.
I see.
No. I leave politics to the politicians.
Right.
Many years ago, I was asked to not become a politician, but to run into campaigns and other stuff. My answer was very clear. Actually, sir, I'm sorry, I'm purely a musician and not a politician.
Right.
So
that you
that
firmly shut the door
yes,
long time
absolutely.
ago.
My conviction still remains the same for us, purely because that's a thing for a different type of person, I would think. Nothing against politicians. We need politicians. I mean, they have to be part of our structure.
Yeah.
But not for me.
And you obviously also play a key role in this whole unity business, because your fans out there and the people who follow you in Australia, in Canada, in the United States, in Europe, in England. They're all composed of different parts of our culture.
Of our heritage, yes.
Yes.
Well, I'm glad you asked me that question. This concept, which I originally came for on the 25th of the last 2 weekends ago, the concept I used was to dedicate songs to the different races who are in Sri Lanka.
I see.
Yeah, I did a song for the Malay population, I did a song for the Tamil population, then obviously Sinhala was there.
Yeah.
Then it was a smattering of English songs, but mainly heavily based on the Sinhala songs, which I have plenty of to pull from the library.
Right.
In fact, I pulled one from our subcontinent Indian neighbors.
Okay.
We did a Hindi song as well.
I see.
So it was a variety, and it's very coincidental that you asked that question, because this particular one was for basically racial harmony.
Yeah.
Is what, like I said, not touching on politics, but I was doing songs for all of them.
Well, you've lived abroad for several years now. Certainly over 15, 20 years.
Oh, more. I would say about 32 now.
That's right, yes. My son's a bit. That's right. Okay. So you've been out of the country over 30 years, which is more or less the time of the war, really.
Yeah.
And living abroad and looking back in, sort of peeking in, do you see a remarkable change? How happy or not are you?
I'm astoundingly happy, and I should have used the word astoundingly changed for the good. I love the infrastructure which has been placed in. I mean, we needed that infrastructure many years ago, and I'm sure you'll agree with me. But I'm so glad when we come back home, I would say, to see a journey which we had got so used to getting out of the aircraft and okay, here goes another 1.5 hours. But we do it in 20 minutes now.
Yeah.
So those are great things. And going down to my hometown of Mathura, which I did a few days ago, I mean, we were there in about 1.5 hours, which was a definite 4-hour journey those days. So things like that, I mean, I applaud whoever did it. Those things, we have to recognize the good parts of it. And there's what I think.
Thank you. And on that note, we're going to take another short break, and do stay tuned. Don't go away. This is, after all, the Hot Seat. Good evening and welcome back to the Hot Seat, where our guest tonight is the entertainer Desmond De Silva. So Desmond, have you been following the progress of the local music scene, if you like?
I have, with great interest. In fact, I'm very happy. We get quite a lot of Sri Lankan bands coming across into Melbourne and Sydney, mainly to Melbourne. Yes, and whenever time permitting, I love to go there and listen to, shall we say, our bands.
Yeah.
Our musicians.
Yes.
And I have always had this thing about us not having a conservatorium of music on the western side.
Right.
Whereas the eastern side, they do have a school here in Colombo, I know that. So, most of the musicians who have sort of blossomed into really great musicians, I must say, are people who have done it through sheer guts and musical knowledge within themselves, which they have not learned anything, like going to school to get notations and learn music, to write music. All that has not been their forte, unfortunately, but they have overcome that. And my theory was, between the Western European people who they have to go to music schools, there are certain countries wouldn't allow the musicians to go out of the country without having qualifications in conservatorium.
Oh, right.
Yes, I have worked with people like that. I mean, especially the Soviet bloc at that time. So, on that end is one lot, and then we are in the middle.
Right.
And then again we go east, the Japanese, the Philippines, also brilliant musicians. But we are on par with all of what they have as technology and whatever, but our musicians coming out of the country are on par with them, if not better.
And our local musicians, do you think they're earning enough? I don't know how much enough is, but are they being paid better rates than all those years ago?
Yes, I would say, from what we earned, they're earning very well.
Right.
Yeah, I was surprised to hear some of the prices, and I'm surprised, happy.
Right.
For them, because if they can command the prices which I know they are commanding, you can only reach a peak of what you can ask for. It's a supply and demand thing, and the demand is there, so the people are willing to pay X amount of rupees for their services, and I think they're earning pretty good, pretty good.
And have you, in your time abroad, have you ever encountered all these sort of communal issues, or when they come to see you perform, is it all fused all as one group of diaspora?
Absolutely, I never felt that.
Right.
And if there was anything, you only have to sing a Baila, and everybody forgets everything else there. One lot together. Then the Baila, I think, takes away all whatever differences they have had.
Right.
That somehow it's like a potion.
Can you turn that into some form of super glue to bond them permanently?
I wish. That means I'll have to be singing non-stop.
Yeah.
Just for them to be. I tell you, it amazes me.
Our president is a singing man. He was singing the other day.
Oh, I missed it.
Yes.
Well, what was he singing? I'm sorry.
I think he tried this attempt at Tamil and another one in Sinhalese, but he was, he did it non-stop.
Okay, you mean from right?
Yeah,
okay.
I mean he didn't sort of say two words and stop. But,
excellent.
So
I missed that. I would like to see what.
Yes, maybe we should arrange to send you the YouTube.
Good. Yes.
Link of that.
Okay.
That's another thing. You didn't have YouTube in the peak of your.
No, we didn't have any tubes.
So have you taken to technology? Have you kept up with technology? Or do you have someone else do it for you? Or?
Yeah, I am not that good, so I have to be honest, but I let the people who are more qualified do that, and I like to learn, yes, but I won't say I'm hopeless, but close to that.
I see. And your fans, they've obviously also, if you don't
grown
mind
up
me
with
say,
me?
yes, grown up with you. That's politically correct way of putting it. So they've grown up with you. and they still hanker after those.
They do, and I'm grateful for that. We still have, if I would call it, the older generation who still come for my concerts, and there were quite a lot of them there. The last concert which I had on the 25th, and I had to say thank you to all the people who helped us make it a sellout concert. And that's the point I made about singing all those songs for all our nationalities in Sri Lanka. And
did you do a concert here this time? You were
yes,
doing a concert
on the 25th.
Who was that with?
That was with the Marians,
right.
and on that point, with the Marians in mind, I believe I have come to a point that if I ever get invited again, which I believe I will be, I cannot work with anybody except the Marians. They're and really a credit to a band. They are dedicated. They are never will they cut short by saying, "Oh, we know that." No, they will practice it while we are there, even if it takes another 5-10 minutes.
Right.
So completely professional, and led by Nalin. He's also a great leader, great singer as well. And as a band, to me, I'll put my neck on the line this time, but I will say without doubt, to me, the best of the best.
And as we come to the end of our program, do you hope that you're going to be involved more and more in Sri Lanka?
I would like to be, but it all depends on how my work with the rest of the world. And before I forget, may I quickly add something?
Yes.
We were the first to do what is known as a Vada Baila with a gentleman called Paul Fernando. Right. He was known as the Prince of Baila.
Right.
Actually, I think he got the Prince of Baila before I became the king.
I see.
Coincidentally.
Right.
But I really don't like that the title of King of Baila. Somehow it doesn't sit nicely with me.
Yes.
But people have given that to me, so I gratefully accept it.
Yes.
So we did this first Baila, which we did as a Vada Baila. He insults me, I insult him, etc. And a couple of days ago, thanks to Mr. Rajiv Sebastian, who is to me, I think, a very creative person, we did a video clip of it. It'll be coming out soon.
Right.
And it's about, it's just called Vada Baila. There is no other title to it.
Right.
But it's really funny, and Paul and I revoiced the whole thing, and it should be out on probably YouTube. Now that you said so.
I want to ask you one final question. I think it's one final question, and that is, you've got talking about internationally. You travel everywhere, and I know that you have a robust fan club in the UK. When do you hope to go back to London?
At the moment, we have no plans, but there are always inquiries. So I only hope that they bear fruit, and then I love to go back to England, even if not for work. I just like to go back to England because I was there for, like I told you, about 27 years of my life was there.
Yeah.
There's something nostalgic in England that I'd like to just see it again.
Right.
But it's not compared to Sri Lanka in any way, but it was like my second home.
I was going to ask you if you could sing a few words of something, maybe a song that you are fond of, a few words, so that we can share that with our viewers. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's entirely up to you.
I enjoyed this song by Sunil Sant. It's about a little bird making a nest, and pleading with the little boys not to break it.
Right.
And the name of the song was Pinsidu Anne, Ane Baila Lamunne. I'll just do the first couple of lines.
Please do.
Pinsidu Anne, Ane Baila Lamunne, Mage kuda nivasa kada bima nodamanne. Sorry.
So thank you for that. Desmond De Silva, it's been lovely having you in the hot seat, and we wish you very well, and we are very proud to be able to be part of attempting to share your story with our audience. So thank you very much. Good luck with all the charitable work, and do drop in on the network whenever you're in town.
Right. Thank you for us. Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. And that's it from the hot seat this week. We'll see you same time, same place next week. Take care.